For 14 years, I believed my marriage was one of the few honest ones left. My name is Mark, and my wife, Elena, and I built a life together from almost nothing. A small apartment, a used car, and a shared dream of financial stability. By our 14th anniversary, we had 2 teenage sons, a modest but comfortable home, and a joint savings account we had both treated as sacred since the beginning. I trusted Elena with every financial decision as much as I trusted her with everything else. That trust is exactly what made the discovery so devastating. It started with a routine bank error. Our joint account statement listed a transfer I didn't recognize. $600 sent to an account I had never seen before. I assumed it was a mistake and asked Elena about it casually over dinner. She brushed it off, said it was for her sister, and changed the subject so smoothly that I almost let it go. But something in her tone stayed with me. The next day, out of quiet unease rather than suspicion, I logged into our online banking history and searched further back. What I found made my stomach drop. Over the previous 8 months, Elena had transferred small, carefully spaced amounts, never large enough to draw attention, never the same amount twice, to an account belonging to a man named Victor. In total, the transfers added up to nearly $11,000. I didn't recognize the name at first, but a quick search through her phone, which she had left unlocked on the kitchen counter that evening, told me everything. Victor wasn't a stranger. He was a personal trainer she had been seeing twice a week for the past year, someone I had assumed was simply part of her fitness routine. The messages between them were not just financial. They were intimate, affectionate, filled with plans for a future that clearly didn't include me. Elena had been quietly funding a relationship with money that was meant for our son's college funds, our retirement, our shared future. I sat at the kitchen table that night for nearly 3 hours, staring at the screen, feeling something inside me shift permanently. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I did what I had always done best in difficult moments. I got quiet, and I got organized. The next morning, I contacted a financial forensic specialist recommended by a colleague, someone experienced in tracing exactly where hidden funds had gone and how a paper trail could be used in legal proceedings. Within a week, we had a complete, dated record of every transfer, cross-referenced with messages, receipts from restaurants I had never been to, and hotel charges from weekends Elena claimed she was visiting her sister. It wasn't revenge I was building. It was clarity, the kind I would need if this marriage was truly over. 2 weeks later, Elena asked for a divorce. She sat across from me at the same kitchen table, telling me she had grown apart from our marriage and deserved happiness elsewhere. She spoke about needing space and closure, carefully avoiding any mention of Victor, clearly assuming I still knew nothing. She expected guilt, hesitation, maybe even pleading. What she got instead was silence, and then a folder I slid across the table, the same folder I had prepared with my lawyer over the previous 2 weeks. Her face changed the moment she opened it. Bank statements, message screenshots, receipts, all dated and organized exactly as a court would require them. I told her calmly that I already knew everything, that I had known for weeks, and that I had used that time not to fight, but to prepare. She stammered, tried to explain, tried to reframe the money as harmless. But the numbers didn't lie, and neither did the messages. Our marital assets, our son's educational future, had been quietly diverted to fund an affair she assumed I was too trusting to notice. When we sat down with my lawyer, Mr. Whitfield, a man who had handled contentious divorces for over 20 years, even he paused when he reviewed the full timeline. He told me afterward, off the record, that he rarely saw cases this clearly documented, this methodically built without a single outburst of anger driving the process. I hadn't screamed. I hadn't thrown anything. I had simply refused to let her control the narrative the way she had controlled the money, quietly, and without my knowledge. The divorce settlement reflected the reality of what had happened. Because the diverted funds were considered dissipation of marital assets, the court ordered a portion of Elena's share to be adjusted in my favor to compensate for the money spent supporting Victor. I retained the house, given the boys' need for stability, and Elena was ordered to contribute to a restored college fund equal to what she had quietly taken. She left that courtroom with far less than she assumed she was entitled to, and with a reputation among our shared friends that no explanation could fully repair. In the months following the divorce, I focused entirely on my sons, on rebuilding a home that felt honest again, free from secrets hidden behind casual excuses. Elena reached out a few times, sometimes apologetic, sometimes defensive, insisting I had overreacted to what she still described as just a friendship. I stopped responding after the third message. Some explanations aren't owed anymore once trust has been dismantled this deliberately, this quietly, over 8 patient months of small transfers designed never to be noticed. Looking back, what stays with me isn't the anger, though there was plenty of that in the beginning. It's the realization that betrayal rarely announces itself loudly. It hides in small, careful amounts, in casual explanations over dinner, in the assumption that the other person is too trusting to look closer. Elena assumed I would never check. She assumed love meant blindness. What she never understood was that trust, once broken quietly, can be rebuilt into something just as quiet and just as unbreakable. Evidence, patience, and the calm resolve to walk away with the truth fully on my side.